Welcome back to Game Day with Bob and Bobby. I'm Bobby Hamlet.
And I'm Bob McGregor. We're still here in beautiful New Orleans, waiting for that BCS National Championship game. But why wait and keep on talking? Why don't we look at the games? This week we're going to be looking at number 6, Oklahoma State, at number 22, Texas. Well, Bobby, what do you think about these games?
Oh, well, Oklahoma State's coming off a big 70-28 win against Kansas, while Texas, on the other hand, got beat down by Oklahoma last week. I
didn't know that you could score 70 points in a football game, Bobby. So, Oklahoma State, maybe they should become a basketball team with the way Texas is playing. Looks like Oklahoma State's going to really dominate that game. 431 yards, second overall in total offense in the BCS teams. So, first in points, it looks like a good chance of running the Big 12. Oklahoma's going to be their biggest battle. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think Brandon Tweeden coming in with 75% completion percentage is really looking good at quarterback. And you got Justin Blackman, projected NFL first-round draft pick, who's really just fast, big, strong, everything the NFL teams are looking for. So I think Oklahoma State's going to roll here. I don't think Texas is going to stop.
Yeah, I agree. I think Texas should go ahead and look for their NCAA basketball season and just look ahead for that. And hey, it might be pretty good. Make the March Madness. So, well, what about the next game? What we got, Bobby?
We got number 19 Virginia Tech going on the road to Wake Forest. Your thoughts initially on this game, Bob?
Well, Wake Forest has the home field advantage here. They're not known to be the great football school that Virginia Tech's known to be. They really blew their first game. They were up 20-7 and lost in overtime against Syracuse. Syracuse isn't a great football team either. But every few years Wake Forest has a good team. So I think this could really turn out to be a good game. But Bobby, why don't you tell us about last week's Virginia Tech win?
Quite a thriller in Blacksburg last week, 38-35 over Miami. It was just over 1,000 yards of total offense. No team could really play defense, it seemed like. And turns out, 4th and 1, 50 seconds to go. Virginia Tech, 4th and 1, just runs right up the middle, scores a 19-yard touchdown to take the win. And I think Virginia Tech's going to have a lot of momentum carried over from that win. The quarterback, Logan Thomas, looked pretty sharp. I expect big things out of him.
Yeah, Bobby, I think I'm going to go with you. I'm going to pick Virginia Tech with this one. Even though it's not a home game, I think the challenge of last week, winning at the end of the game with the time ticking away, I think that really is going to give them a lot of momentum for the rest of the season. And really, I think this is a must-win for them to really compete for the ACC title, and I think they're going to step up to the plate and do well.
Yeah, I expect big things from David Wilson as well. I think he's had 5 straight 100-yard games. I see him continuing that streak and making a push for the Heisman. Who knows?
Good point.
We're going to change it up a little this week and throw in a little husband versus wives picks for you. And first game we're going to look at this week is number 11 Michigan going on the road to number 23 Michigan State in East Lansing. What are your thoughts, Katie, initially on this game?
Well, as a Michigan-born native, you know that my heart is with the blue. This is not that far of a road game, Bobby. Obviously, right there at Michigan State. The crowd's not going to be a huge factor in this game. And I just think Denard Robinson is the man. You got to look at his record this season. He's got 18 total touchdowns. Michigan is 7th in the country in offense, and this guy is just on fire week after week making this case for Heisman. So there's really no stopping this Michigan team.
Well, you may be right about that, Katie. Michigan is all about offense, but when you look at Michigan State, they're all about defense. This team knows what it's at. Number 1 in total defense in the whole country. Held Ohio State to negative 30 yards rushing on 30-some carries. Yeah, exactly, Ohio State. And who's dominated the Big Ten for how many years? And
this year?
So they're number 1 in total defense. They've only given up 7 touchdowns total in all their games so far this season. Opponents are only averaging around 10 points. I just don't see. I see Denard Robinson. Yeah, they've been going through a cupcake schedule. Now they're going to run into a brick wall of stone defense, and they're going to see what a real defense is like. So I really see Michigan State stepping up. Senior quarterback Kirk Cousins is looking real sharp. He's got to cut down on those interceptions. The 6 touchdowns to 4 interceptions aren't looking too good, but they've got a balanced running attack. And Michigan State's owned this series since 2008. Michigan has not won in 4 years, and I don't look for it to end this week.
Well, Bob, I know you like to talk about defense like they're the big thing, but if you look at Michigan's defense, they are 8th in the country for giving up the least amount of points. And when you look at your quarterback, Mr. Kirk Cousins, and his 68% completion rate, you look at his interceptions, 4 interceptions this season. I think Michigan's going to pick apart this quarterback, and he's just not going to know what's coming. So I think it's going to be a good battle of defenses, but I think when it comes to the offense, Denard Robinson's going to dominate.
All right, we'll see.
Well, we're here for the final game. Courtney and myself, the second husband-wife couple, will be debating, well, I think, maybe the biggest game of the week, Florida versus Auburn. Well, we all know what happened 2 years ago, or at least I remember what happened 2 years ago, so maybe Florida will be able to redeem themselves. Courtney, what do you think?
I think this is going to be a close game, Bob. I wish I could say it wasn't. We don't have Cam Newton anymore. We're not blowing people out of the park. Let's see. I think it's going to be a tough game for Florida. On the road at Auburn, it's a tough evening atmosphere to play in at Jordan-Hare Stadium. I just think the injuries are going to be too much for Florida this week, Bob. I don't know if they're going to be able to put too many points on the board.
Well, with Auburn's defense being pretty much last, I don't know who Florida can put out there that wouldn't be able to score against this defense. So, I mean, Auburn's offense has looked pretty good. Michael Dyer, great player. I think he's going to do a great job this week, get some great points on the board for Auburn. But, I mean, Florida's defense still really good after playing number 1 and number 2 teams in the country. So we have to look at that. Florida's only lost 2 games this year, and they've been number 1 and number 2 teams in the country. So, I mean, I really think even with a third-string quarterback, Florida's going to be able to come in there, and he's been practicing the whole week, planning on being the starting quarterback, so I think that's going to be a definite advantage for the team. And
do you think the true freshman can handle the crowd, the noise, the lights of Jordan-Hare Stadium?
Well, Courtney, since you haven't been to the Swamp, you have no idea what a real stadium's like. So, Griffin Stadium is so much awesome. Is so much awesome compared to Jordan-Hare Stadium. I mean, I think Suge would probably rather go to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium and play football there. I'm just saying. Sorry, Auburn fans.
What can I say? Never been there. I think it's going to be a good game. Looking forward to watching it. I think my Tigers are going to pull it out.
Well, Cam Newton was a Gator to start off with. So, I mean, that's just extra points right there. So, anyways, I'm picking Florida. Courtney's not clearly picking Auburn. We'll see what happens.
Who picks the right orange and blue.
Florida's going to be 24 next week. Booyah. Here's you, Jessica Field.